Okay, so this is not to spread fear, but simply bring awareness because I genuinely care about, people, families, businesses, owners who might own gas stations, etc. Just in general, the future of our economy in the U.S. Let's just get some facts here out of the way. So the European Parliament, by popular vote, has decided to, just months ago in June, to ban internal combustion engines from sale by 2035. Well, not even 2 months after that, California also passes 20 to 35 ban of internal combustion engines. Okay, so then Biden also, which this was already put in his plan, I'm not even sure it is Build America Back Better. Yeah, whatever that was. Okay, so anyways, he also is pledging to make 50% of all vehicles sold in the United States, electric vehicles by 2050, I think. So by 2030, he's got a certain increase to get to that goal. It's a very lengthy goal, but still, there's just three main, boom catalyst topics that are coming, and they're going to keep coming. Even if you see the rate of just the EVs climb from, as you can see the chart here we have pulled up, from even just 2012 to the past year, you got 0.2% to an 8.3. So let's just look at back even 2020 to 2021. That's a 4% jump right there. Point of the video is this is something that's trending. I do believe it's sort of like, gun and laws around that, or vaccines and laws around that, and which side are you on? And I think this is going to become bigger because they're going to look at it like, oh, you didn't get the vaccine, or oh, you believe in having a gun in your home. Well, this will be the new one, is due to zero emissions to help the environment and cut air pollution. They're going to push this storyline here to say, like, we need to cut all this the gas and everything out and have straight EV cars all known around, and especially since they're trying to do by 2035, it's a very short goal. So I really think the 2050 is a more measurable stretch there. But just in general, here's where I find a problem with this 5,000 gas stations, which is already projected to close from 1920 all the way till now in 2022, which is your 100-year length. We had about 15,000 gas stations just in the US, and since then, in 100 years, we've grown to about 164,000. Now, if you do the math really quick, I could bring it up, but it's roughly like 1,300 a year. Well, if that's what we're growing, 1,300 a year, and they're projecting 5,000 to close within 2 years, that's a stronger decline than we had in a growth rate. When you look at, also, you can look this up, if you find in California owns, just in the US, about 8 to 10,000 of those gas stations. Well, they're the ones that are making this first ban here in the US. And like I said, with the vaccine, the laws of guns, like all that kind of same scenarios, like it's going to become something that's in that same sector of like, which side are you on? Other states are going to vote on this, and other people are going to agree by popular vote that, like, yeah, we should probably do that as well. Especially since they're trying to get the whole US and Europe and even China, but China's like the lowest, but still, since they're trying to get us all around in the same plan here for the same goal. Gas stations in general, I don't see them all just, closing. But if they're going to ban by 2035 the sale of internal combustion engines, and your only option is to get a EV, electric vehicle, which GM, Ford, known names have also signed on to this, well, then this is where I think people need to get ready, even if it's in the 10 to 20 years. Like, if you have kids, like, you need to plan ahead. I would. So if you own a gas station, this is where the problem I see is that a lot of them are not going to just shut down and go out of business, and oh my gosh, there'll be nowhere for me to get gas anymore. You're still going to have your internal combustion engine cars on the road. You're still going to have third parties that are going to sell them. You're still going to have something of that sort. People are going to own them. But, the gas stations that are currently here, within the next 10 years, they're going to have to innovate. They're going to have to change up how they do things and, tear down all the the structure they have currently and rebuild, and that's going to cost a lot of money. That's my problem. So I don't think, like I said, that all of these gas stations are going to go out of business. This is just a giant number coming, and I think it's due to people not having the money to be able to make these certain changes. So that's where I think you're going to see a lot of the short end of the stick gas stations that are like independently owned or not as profitable. Those are the ones you're going to see go first. The rest, obviously, they're going to change up. They're going to innovate. They're going to restructure and be able to add on sales for the EV markets. You can pull up and charge your car. Problem is, it takes longer to charge a car. Even fast, supercharging still takes longer than just to fill up your gas tank. So this is also why I think this is still a slow process. But then again, it's coming, and I just want people to see the data and see the trends and to make yourself more aware. And this could also help you with your portfolio. When you think about such a topic that's been in the works and now has become hot easily in the past 6 months, and that's where I can see the growth. If you're not investing in EV, not saying to go put your money in there, and if you're trying to fight against it, well, with the rate growing just in 1 year, 4%, and there's no way we're not going to be able to have more. And even when supply and demand, that's how the world works. And supply and demand is very high for our EVs. And with all these put in place, it's going to freak people out, and they're going to start changing their gas stations. They're going to start buying more EVs. They're going to think on that sector side of which side are you on, and they're going to be like, yeah, I want to be the good side, whatever. And they're going to buy into it. So even, this whole story around just in general news, I would put this in your portfolio and maybe consider to get some, not the beginners of the EV world. I don't really trust those. I made that decision about 6 years ago. And you don't just put all your money into all these new companies. Go behind the ones that are actually making changes, revenue, have the supply and demand put in place, and which would, yes, I'm sorry to say, it's Tesla. Lucid's coming up, Polestar. You can do your research, but there's a lot of them coming up. And, you might want to put just a small position in there, seeing all this circulation going on here with this topic. It's going to cause a lot more attention to that sector. So for the future, and for your kids, for everything, just to be ahead of the news and to stay ahead of what's changing, you might be driving an EV.